Hello everyone, it's Alina. Welcome to my Soap General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. We knew time was running out for General Hospital's Spencer and Trina. With his portrayer, Nicholas Alexander Chavez, temporarily exiting, all we could do was speculate just how Spencer would be written off. Certainly the end of Tuesday's episode, in which a clear Mad Esmond had cornered perceived rival Trina aboard the private yacht, heightened the stakes significantly. This hardly seemed like the kind of situation from which everyone would emerge unhurt. In fact, it appeared likely that Esmond would meet her maker, and yet, we knew that it was Spencer who would be exiting, not his psychotic ex-girlfriend. At least we'd received some Parisian romance before Trina and Spencer were to be forced apart, including that great speech he made to Trina. "Before you," he murmured, his love-filled eyes peering into hers, "all I could see was pain. And you opened my eyes to a whole new universe. You showed me that there's so much more to feel. And you taught me that I'm a person that's worthy of love. With you, every day has been so much better. Every single one is greater than the last. You're everything that I always wanted but never believed that I could have, and I'm going to adore you for the rest of my life." But in Wednesday's episode, everything went to hell in the metaphorical handbasket. Spencer learned that Esmond had damaged their methods of communication, set the private yacht on a new route, and worst of all, done something to the now missing Trina. Wrapping his hands around Esmond's neck, Spencer swore he'd strangle the life out of her. "But if he did that," she warned, "you'll never find Trina in time, and you'll have killed us both." Esmond spoke of the anguish Spencer and Nicholas had caused her, especially by stealing her kid. Although she taunted him to go ahead, kill her, he refrained. "I want you to live a very, very long life living with the pain you just described to me, because you are never, ever going to see your son again." It was then that we discovered Esmond had Trina chained and gagged in another room. Even as Trina struggled furiously to escape, Esmond tied Spencer's hands behind his back. "Is this the part where the villain tells me her plan?" he inquired. She, however, saw herself as the victim, not the culprit. "My son was taken from me, literally by an evil billionaire and his lapdog son." Esmond did, however, lay out her diabolical plan for him. Trina would manage to free herself, at which point she had instructions to phone Laura. Why? Because Esmond meant to use Spencer as a negotiating tool with which to get Ace back. Spencer reminded out that this wasn't likely to go down the way Esmond was picturing, what with the whole kidnapping and assault thing. Tired of listening, Esmond decided it was time to drug Spencer, which is exactly when Trina, having escaped quicker than her captor expected she would burst in. The women wrestled. Trina knocked Esmond down, and it looked as if our hero and heroine would make a safe escape owing to an incoming boat, and that's when it happened. Emerging from the shadows, Esmond stabbed Spencer with the syringe containing a medicine that she'd warned could have a wide range of effects. She then turned, set upon thrusting the needle into Trina too. But Spencer, battling the effects of the drug as best he could, rushed for Esmond, and both fell overboard. Will Esmond and Spencer survive? Only time will tell. Other rumors have suggested that Chavez will be missing from the canvas for several months. On the good side, those same sources say that he does intend to return, indicating that Spencer and Trina will, we hope, eventually reconnect. That sound you hear? Fans of General Hospital's Spencer and Trina cheering. Why? Because the couple's biggest impediment, his vicious ex, Esmond, was supposedly just dumped to the bottom of the ocean. We'd all known for a while now that the episode showing on Wednesday, January 31, was slated to be the last in which we'd see Nicholas Alexander Chavez Spencer for at least a little time. The growing celebrity needed a little time away from his Port Charles obligations in order to film the mini-series Monsters, the Lyle and Eric Menendez story. Given that Chavez will be playing Lyle, whose name is right there in the title, it was obviously going to necessitate him to take a bit of a vacation from his daytime role. Heading into Spencer's farewell episode, we couldn't exactly guess how things would play out aboard the yacht he'd chartered for what was intended to be a romantic holiday in Paris. But things spiraled quickly out of control within the course of the fast-paced hour. In the final minutes, Esmond stabbed a drug-filled syringe into Spencer, then turned intent upon doing the same to Trina. Before she could realize her diabolical purpose, however, Spencer got up, grabbed his crazed ex, and while they wrestled, went overboard with her. By episode's finale, it became evident why Tabyana Ali had, during an interview with Soap Opera Digest, cautioned that fans should take their blood pressure pills, but were now forced to ponder whether this was actually Esma's swan song or if she might rise like the mythical phoenix. After all, she is the daughter of Heather Weber and Ryan Chamberlain, both of whom were, at one point or another, falsely proclaimed dead. Heck, despite Ryan presumably being really most sincerely dead, we're not completely persuaded that's the case. We know that Chavez is set to return to the canvas once Monsters has done shooting, but there's no news on whether Esme, and portrayer Avery Pohl, will be back. Might Esme have survived her plunge into the freezing waters just to wind up holding Spencer captive? If so, Pohl might well be off-screen until such time as Chavez is ready to return. So close and yet so far. On January 31, Steve Burton stated approximately how long General Hospital fans would have to wait for his debut appearance as a back-from-the-dead Jason Morgan. On the daytime drama podcast that he runs with sometime castmate and real-life companion Bradford Anderson, the Emmy winner stated that he was due on the set of the ABC soap next week. Since Burton had previously predicted that his comeback would start to unspool on TV roughly 4 weeks after he began taping, that places Jason's resurrection and all of the attendant stunned reactions. Well, what do you know? Right toward the end of February sweeps. You'll recall that back in 2021, Burton was let off by the soap for refusing to comply with the COVID vaccine policy that had been placed in place to protect the health and wellness of the cast and crew. He quickly went back to Days of Our Lives to reprise his long-ago role as Harris Michaels. Previously, after Burton had quit General Hospital, he joined The Young and the Restless as Nicky Newman's surprise son, Dylan McAvoy. We know, it feels like just yesterday when Kristen Alderson was playing Todd and Blair's precocious daughter Star on One Life to Live. Now though, Alderson herself is a new mom as she just announced the birth of her and fiancé Taylor Cruiser's baby, Kiara Sky Cruiser. Alderson, who also played Star over on General Hospital before switching up to originate the role of Ava's daughter, Kiki Jerome, originally announced the news back in September that she and Cruiser were expecting her first child. Though it caught her enough by surprise that she made sure to double-check, sharing the full process with her admirers. The couple's been sharing their pregnancy experience ever since, with plenty of baby bump updates along with a weekly podcast called Expecting You. And now that the days finally arrived, Alderson proclaimed on her Instagram that little Kiara is everything and more than we could have ever asked for. Madly in love. Click through below to see baby's lovely first images. Just look at that joyful little face. And, as an added treat, Alderson wasted no time in putting together a side-by-side comparison of mom, dad, and Kiara, all as babies. Alderson's on the left and Cruiser's on the right, with their new bundle of joy right in the midst. Or, as the soap alum put it, she's our perfect little mix. And we here at Soaps.com will certainly join the chorus of voices extending our congrats. Little Kiara is gorgeous, and it's already evident that her delighted parents will be showering her with a lifetime of love. So what do you guys think about this update? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like my videos, please click like and subscribe for more. I'll see you guys next time.